I would like to start by telling you a story. About a year ago, I was playing with my 8-year-old daughter. I'm pretty sure this time I wasn't Princess Leia, that's for sure. And we were playing together, and she was telling me how much older she would like to be a teacher and a dancer. And I thought that was a brilliant idea. And I told her, maybe you could teach dance. And she said, no, Daddy, I want to be a teacher and a dancer. And then she asked me what I wanted to do at her age. I said, well, I had 3 main dreams. The first one was to be an architect, and I've been an architect. The second one was to be a film director, and I've been a film director. But it's unlikely that I will achieve the third one. And she asked me, why that, Daddy, why? Well, you see, I'm 50 years old, and I wanted to be an astronaut and walk on the moon. And straight away, with unconditional love, she said to me, do not worry, Daddy. As soon as you die, I send you ashes on the moon. Now you understand why I believe in the future generations. I believe that if we listen and observe and learn from them, then we will be able to help them to thrive and develop their mindfulness, and ours too. About 2 years ago, I have decided to bring more positivity into life, to make sure that I can help people and family to build better and stronger relationships. Well, understanding and observing the new generations really helped me to develop new concepts, ideas, to create new tools, improved tools they could use to prosper and make this planet a better place with humanity at its center. And also, I do believe that we are all driven by our emotions. We are all looking for happiness. And what does feeling happy really mean? I think we really have to be careful here because, words are very powerful. They can hurt. And we are not our emotions, definitely not. We are sensing them, we are experiencing them, and it's better to state this because that will allow us to move from a painful sensation to better emotion. And then I've been asking myself, what makes us most happy? And the answer I found is actually that when we are recognized, when we are significant, when we are feeling connected to the other and identify as a unique well-being. And this is a very important moment for us because it sounds a bit complicated, right? But it is a bit like a switch. Imagine that. You do understand intellectually that you exist, body and mind, but somehow you need someone to make you experiencing it emotionally. So therefore, to feel complete, you need to feel connected and recognized by your parents and your peers. And this will happen on your very first day when you're born. That moment when your mother and father are welcoming you and recognize you as a unique individual. And this will imprint your brain as a core memory of your individuality, and that forever. But what is a core memory? Well, I will answer you by just a question. What are you more likely to remember? A nice sunny day enjoying an ice cream here in Cornwall, or when you ask to do a TED Talk? Well, you can understand for me that was quite easy to answer that one. Now, I would like to do an experiment with you. If you please close your eyes and imagine from now, everything's going to be first things. You're just a newborn baby. You are taking your first breath. You are feeling cold hands on your body. You are turned over, upside down. You are hearing voices and noises. And maybe you are doing these noises yourself. And then you end up on your mom's chest, experiencing for the first time her expression of love with her kisses, and get a big gulp of a warm liquid, your first taste. And likely you will end up on your dad's chest, falling asleep, tuning on his heartbeat. It's amazing, isn't it? You can open your eyes now. It's so amazing. You can understand how happy I felt when I heard that our first child was on his way. I think we did like many parents. We started to do research and read lots of books and magazines. And my wife even trained a bit like an athlete. She was a rower at the time, and that was a thing, giving the last strong effort even when your strength is away. And we saw the idea about her giving birth into a pool unit. So we've been visiting the next door one. And as we were listening to the nurse reaching her selling point and telling us how wonderful and marvelous and safe it was, well, we heard that amazing scream of pain from next door, which is convinced us to go to the main hospital. From that moment, well, like many of us, we attended yoga classes, and I gave my wife extra massage to relieve her feet and back pain. I even bought a 10 machine, which is one of the best electric machines to relieve back pain. And I also bought a nice DVD about landscape and nature to make sure she could relax between the contraction time. And also a CD about nice meditative music to relax during the contraction time. Actually, it didn't work. We only listened to the CD all the time, and today when we listen to that music, it's quite emotional. And we were all packed for the D-Day, the delivery day. We had a wonderful 24 hours delivery, and it was really fantastic to welcome our healthy little girl grabbing her first breath and, holding and cuddling this tiny belly from body, still blind, was magical. Like any parents, I think. And, I had a clear idea about what becoming a dad would be. I definitely wanted to get involved in the daily task and be present and nurture. First, I improve our nest, our home, and it felt like we were a couple of birds, going out and coming back feeding. So every day I started to clean, feed, clean again, wipe, change, bathings, maybe not in that order, but this is what happened. And I think some of the parents will understand that there's nothing quite like going shopping at 10 p.m. in a supermarket for nappies, baby wipe, milk, and Vaseline. In the field of education, my dad was a role model. First as a teacher and then as a secondary school director. Well, I was inspired by his philosophy and his pedagogy. As a kid, it was really a shock to discover that school wasn't always Dad's way. His work was very demanding, and I was missing our time together. Despite his effort, well, I was missing him all the time. And then one day, I think I was 15 or something, he came back from work and seeing my really bad school result. And he told me that, looking through my eyes and said, look, if you were listening as much as my pupils, maybe you would get better results. And I looked at him straight away and I said, look, if you were spending more time with me like you spend time with your pupil, maybe I would get those results. Well, my dad never been violent or never hit me, but I won't describe what happened next. And from that moment, from that deep feeling, you understand why I really wanted to be present, even before she was born, And more than just social and emotional parental aspect, well, what I discovered, actually, it's also a biological one, and it's something we all share together, actually, because since our conception, all our parts are working together. All our single cells are working in harmony and cooperations to make sure that we are what we are. So, as a living creature facing the inevitable event of our disappearance, well, our response was, in fact, to reproduce and transmit our genetic code. And this is why our children are so precious, because they carry a bit of you through space and time, and you carrying a bit of your parents and grandparents through space and time. Talking about time, sometimes it takes less than a second to fall in love, and sometimes it takes the same amount of time to cause dramatic change on a child's mind. Sadly, in 2011, my wife and I engaged a process of separation when our daughter was just 4 years old. I wasn't ready for this. Yes, it hurts. You know, one day you're a family pact, and the very next day you're just a lone stranger with broken dream. But one positive element was my wife and I were determined to protect our daughter from the negative consequence of separation. So we did a lot of research. We dig as much as we could on the subject. We searched online, we read tons of books actually. But we never found what we were looking for. So from our frustrations, in fact, I decided to create a book for our daughter, to tell her our story, her story, a love story. It took me 3 weeks to craft the whole things, as it was made from, personal picture and cartoons, as she couldn't read. And waiting the right moment to tell her was very tense. I do remember it well. It was a Sunday afternoon. She was sitting between us on the sofa. And then I opened the book and started to tell her her story. In the first chapter, she discovered where we come from, then how we met, how we fell in love and got engaged. And in the second chapter, she discovered, as her arrival and the lovely time we all had together. And in the third chapter, as times go by, mums and dads realize the difference and decide to go their own way. But no matter what, we love you. We love her. And it doesn't stop there. There's a future. The future is you will have 2 houses, 2 bedrooms, still go to school with mum or dad, see all your friends, and have lots of fun. And no matter what, we love you. We love her. And the key message here was, we might not be a loving couple anymore, but we are still loving parents and forever. After I shut the book, been a little silence. And then she said, and I quote her here, "Thank you very much for my book. We were really not expecting that." And it was quite moving, as you can imagine. And the very next day, we had some friends turning around with their kids. And the first thing she did was to grab the book and show it to the kids and said, look how much my parents love me. It was amazing. And it did provide us extra healing, for that really moment, intense moment. And today, whenever I visit my ex-wife's house to pick up our daughter, well, the book is always around her. There's no friend loyal as a book, said Hemingway. And a book is amazing because it triggers our main senses, touch and sight. And from that fantastic experience, I have decided, and inspired by our daughter, I have decided to help family who wants to support their children while facing separation. Since I published this concept, I've been moved by people's stories, all the connection with the book, and all want to reconnect with the past as well. I heard about divorcee, young adult, children of divorce, grandparents, everyone wants to heal what happened. More than a concept, it is a time machine. It is a place where you can go back and forth through space and time. It is a place for memories, not remembrance. It is a place where people can find love and heal separation. Yes, I do believe in the next generation. It is down to them to create a brighter future, and it is our responsibility to make sure they will have everything to do so. As we are already history, you have to embrace, seize the moment, make the most of it to impact positively our children's well-being and emotional heritage. Thank you.